Hey guys, welcome to Solo React Talk. Today I'm going to be reacting to linfamy History of Japan. Today's episode is called Emperor versus Clan Kofun Era. Alright, if you want to watch my previous reactions, I'll put the card right up here. Just click on it and you'll be able to access them. Okay, let's go. 3, 2, 1, go.
The Kofun period was a time of great expansion for the Yamato state. Yamato became a rising power in the region, mostly attributed to the massive rise of agricultural production at this time. The growing influence of the Yamato court brought about increasing unification. However, the Yamato rulers had a problem. You see, the Yamato state was less of a unified state and more of a confederation of many clans. There's an emperor at the top that theoretically oversaw it all, but these clans were powerful and controlled their own lands. Some clan leaders even had more de facto power in the court than the emperor. The Yamato rulers thought, what the hell? We're the boss here. We should be in control. And so the imperial family devised two strategies towards one goal: how to make ourselves more important. This would continue to be their objective in later periods. Firstly, they created the kabane system. Kabane were titles of nobility. The imperial family declared that it had the sole authority to bestow these titles to individuals. There was a grab bag of titles that I don't know the names of, but the top two were Omi and Muraji. The title of Omi was given to male clan leaders who claimed direct descent from the mythical first emperor Jimmu. The title of Muraji was given to male clan leaders who claimed direct descent from really important kami. There wasn't exactly a scientific way to verify these claims, so instead of the titles granting power to people, it was the other way around initially. They went to people who already had power. Now, kabane were not just useless titles that came with no authority, like vice presidents. They had important consequences. You could only hold high government offices if you had a title. Some people were given the titles of Great Omi or Great Muraji. These people held the highest offices. The title holders became the aristocracy of Japan. It was a success. People really identified with their titles. It became like a club. Omi hung out with Omi. Muraji went to, plays with Muraji. If an argument arose, you defended your Omi brothers against the dirty Muraji. These two groups had similar political power and they fought all the time in the Yamato court. One feature of these titles that made them so valuable? They were hereditary. If your dad was an Omi, you also became an Omi. For the lower-ranked titles, it became a way of making sure your kid started on third base. Your daddy became your save point. For example, daddy works his whole life to get to rank 2. Little Timmy is born automatically loading up daddy's save point at rank 2, and now has a better chance of getting to rank 3. That's how games work, right? Well, unless you had the Sega Genesis back in the 90s, which couldn't save and you had to keep the damn game on for 5 hours. And if you died, that meant another 5 hours to get back to where you were. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Golzingnik. The kabane system gave Yamato rulers a way to grant power that could last. Even so, most historians agree that it was not that effective in bolstering the imperial family's authority, but it was a step towards that direction. A second thing the imperial family tried was they organized people into occupational groups called bei. These bei and the clans had a close relationship. Now, when we say clan, that's a translation of the original Japanese word uji. It's a pretty good translation, but a warning though, uji were different from the European notion of clans. European clans mostly had blood bonds. They were your relatives, your kin. An uji was much bigger than a Yin clan, and the bonds between members of an uji were broader. There were definitely bonds of blood, of course. You were born into an uji. But an uji also accepted outsiders, non-relatives. These were bonds of loyalty rather than blood. So each clan had a leader and worshipped a guardian kami. Unlike later, many clan leaders in this early stage were women. Uji were the basic political units at this time, similar to how the United States has 50 states. The Yamato state had a bunch of clans, except these clans annoyingly dominated the central government. The imperial family organized people into these groups called bei. A bei was like a clan, but a clan that specialized in one occupation. For example, if you wanted to order some haniwa, you would go to a bei that worked with clay. You had bei for farming, fishing, military service, all kinds of occupations, but mostly farming. Like regular clans, the bei had a hereditary component. You were born into a bei. Want to play the violin instead of being a farmer? Sorry, that's your life now, you deadbeat. You can think of bei as hereditary corporations or hereditary guilds. Bei members were originally skilled immigrants who came over from the Korean peninsula, but eventually included locals as well. The imperial family assigned each bei to a clan. Some clans oversaw multiple bei. They charged each clan with providing an occupational function to the emperor. For example, the Mononobe clan was responsible for maintaining weapons for the imperial family, which meant they oversaw a bei that maintained weapons. Each bei answered to both its overseeing clan and the emperor. This benefited the emperor greatly. They had bei all over the Yamato state. Not only do they extract resources and goods bypassing local rulers, they also served as the emperor's eyes and ears in faraway places. The emperor could get information that is not filtered through the mouths of the clans. And now that the emperor has a presence everywhere, it allowed the court to meddle in local affairs. These power consolidation strategies were limited in effectiveness, but they were a start. Over the next few periods, the power struggle would continue between the clans and the imperial family.
Well, guys, that's it for another episode of Linfamy, History of Japan. Yeah, the imperial family was initiating a plan of divide and conquer. They created this system of nobility where there would be this camp and that camp, and they would divide amongst each other about, who's more important, who is more favorable to the emperor and to the royal court, and they would fight amongst each other. They would be distracted from whatever the emperor is doing, or they might want to pick a side. Either they're with the emperor or they're against the emperor. And also in terms of the clans and the bei specialization, constricting people to a specific, destiny, like the entire people. If you're a farmer, your children and their children and their children's children will also become farmers. If you're a metal cast worker, your entire line will also be a metal cast worker. So dividing the people into these clans that have specializations thus limits their ability to become self-independent. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say there. Dividing them from anything else that could assist them in their own development as a people. So the only thing they know is what they've been told to know. And anything that is outside of what they're supposed to know, there will be retribution against them. So definitely the empire, or should I say the imperial family of Japan, took its time to completely unravel this stranglehold the clans have on Japan, and they wanted to be that main power force within the government, and not to be beholden by other clans that have more power than the next clan. So I find that quite interesting. It's a political game, but it takes generations. It just doesn't happen like, with a flip of a switch. Yeah, they played the long game, being patient, and win over your enemies one by one, through force or otherwise. So yeah, I like this episode. Guys, that's it for today. If you want to watch another one with me, remember that I'll be watching probably next week. I don't know if it's going to be Friday. I really have to organize these things. But I'll be watching another one next week. Hope to see you there. Hope to see you there. And remember, if you like the video, you can give me a like, you can comment, you can subscribe to my channel. You can also click on the notification bell if you want to be up to date with my latest videos. Okay, guys, that's it. Bye-bye.